Hey guys, I'm Danieli Rios and I'm here with Felipe Morita. We're both pros from Killer Spin and thank you for joining us. Today we'll give you some quick pointers on how to improve your table tennis game. For a full course, join the Killer Spin Skill Academy at killerspin.com where you can find more information. Today we're going to be talking about backhand counter.
Right, Danny. We're going to show you some backhand counters today. The first, we're going to show a 360 viewer of our pro Ilya Lupulescu demonstrating the backhand counter. And then after that, we're going to show on the table as well how to do it.
Yes.
So let's show the viewer.
Yes, the backhand counter is one of the most fundamental shots in table tennis, and this stroke teaches feeling, timing, and quick reflexes.
Right. First thing I want to talk about is Lupi's position. Notice that Lupi is left-handed player, different than Danieli and I, so it's going to be from a different angle when we demonstrate on the table. So Lupi, since he's left hand, his left leg is slightly back and his right leg is slightly in front. So he has more room to perform the backhand count. Notice that he's like about a foot from the table and his racket is right in front of his body. He bends his knees and his upper body is leaning forward. So he has a better balance when executing the shot as well.
Yes, your racket should always be in front of you. And if you want to use more speed and spin, you're going to use your underarm and wrist.
Correct. Notice that the contact point of the backhand counter is going to be a little quicker than the forehand counter because the forehand counter you can wait a little more for the ball. But for the backhand, you have to take almost the ball like right off the bounce. The ball bounce and you take it. Notice the angle of Lupi's racket when he contacts the ball.
Yes, and finish the stroke where you want the racket, where you want the ball to go.
Correct. The contact point should be always on the top of the ball, and as Danieli said, he always finishes the stroke. If he's going cross court in this case, always his racket is going to be pointing cross court as well. Notice that the backhand counter, you don't use too much of your body, unlike like the forehand counter, you use a lot, but the backhand counter is more of your forearm and wrist. He uses a little of his shoulder to follow through the stroke, but it's a very finesse shot, so he uses a lot of the wrist and the forearm when he is executing the shot.
Yes.
Notice that he always also recovers from the shot immediately. Even though a very like compact stroke, he always recovers and come back to the ready to play position. Notice that regardless of how short is the stroke, he's always in a good balance because you never know where the opponent is going to hit the ball. So he's ready to move in case he needs.
That's correct.
Yeah, want to show on the table, Danny?
Yes, let's
go.
do it.
So, as I mentioned on the 360 viewer, the first thing you should pay attention is your position. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be moving my body towards the left side of the table. I kind of try to almost match the end of this part of my body, my hips, to the end of the table, so I have a good position. Yes. And my left leg is slightly in front, so I'm facing Danieli more because right now we're going to be warming up backhand counters cross court, so I'm facing her more. If I'm going down the line, then I can move my body like more like parallel, so I can hit down the line. But here, slightly, my left leg is slightly in front. Notice that I'm going to try to hit Danieli's paddle, and I'm going to start very slow at the beginning so I can control the ball for her, and she can control the ball for me. I want you guys to really focus on consistency and good placement. Always try to facilitate and make it easy for your partner to hit a backhand counter as well. Because at the end of the day, you guys both practicing, right? So notice that my contact point is a little earlier than the forehand counter. Look, I always quick. And if I want to accelerate, I go faster with my forearm and wrist with the ball.
Yes. Some of the common mistakes also, as we explained in forehand, is your elbow. So always try to give space to your elbow and to relax and feel comfortable. It's really important that you repeat this exercise because you're going to create muscle memory. Mm-hmm. It's going to be easier for you and you're going to be comfortable with time.
Right. That's very important, Danieli, because when you're doing the backhand counter, I don't want you to have your elbow right next to your body. I want you to open a little bit so you have more room because the power when you're doing a backhand counter or a backhand loop, it generates from here. So your elbow the stability of your elbow is extremely important, because if I'm here, I'm only like pushing the ball. Notice, I'm only pushing, I can add no power to the ball. But if I use this is when I can add the full power and the full rotation that I want to do on the ball. So always open a little bit, but don't open too much, because then you're going to be forcing too much of your shoulder. So relax, open here, so you can have a good and a comfortable position to do this. I always try to do an analogy of like you're throwing the frisbee, because that's kind of how the stroke should be, or the windshield wiper of a car, like going that way. Never this, but always coming from this. And I'm always trying to contact the ball like on the top of it, so the ball is really low when we're warming up the backhand counter.
Another common mistake that beginners do is to change the position. If you want to go down the line, yes, you can change your position a little bit. But if you're going to try to go to your opponent's backhand sides, in case he's right-handed as you, you can't be like this, because it's going to be uncomfortable, you know, and it's not going to be the right position for you if someone changes to your forehand. Right. So those are one of the common mistakes that beginners do.
Yes, like never like have this, your right leg, if you're right-handed, like blocking you, because you might feel okay like doing this, but it's not the correct way, because it's really fast. In case the guy hits the ball to your forehand side, you're gonna be kind of blocked. So it's gonna be hard for you to do this switch to the forehand side. So as Daniele said, like always have like or your left leg slightly in front or parallel. If you wanna play more like free, you can go like either way, like cross, line, or down the line. You can have more your legs parallel. If you wanna go cross court, you can face more your partner. But it's very important, never have this leg blocking. The only time that you're gonna have like the right leg in front is that if you're a little bit far from the table, then you're gonna have to use more of your body. So then you have to like, you know, use this, and you have to do a longer stroke for your backhand. But if you're closer to the table, it's very important, this position that you just mentioned right there.
Yes. And another common mistake that I also see on beginners is the grip. So they have a totally different grip when they do forehand and when they do backhand. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be also difficult for you, because in table tennis, it's a game that is really fast. So when people change it to you to different place on the table, it's gonna be harder for you to use your forehand and backhand at the same time. So same grip that you use in your forehand is the same one that you need to use to your backhand. It's gonna be easier for you.
Mm-hmm. Especially at the beginning. I tend to adjust a little bit so I feel more comfortable hitting on the top of the ball. But that's like when you start getting better, and then you're gonna feel, oh, okay, my forehand feels more comfortable with this grip, and then I have to switch a little bit. But it's not that I'm completely like switching my grip. It's kind of the same, just for me to facilitate the angle, because I always trying to hit the ball on top of it. So I adjust a little bit, but at the beginning, as Daniele mentioned, try to keep the same so you're more balanced when you're switching from the forehand and to the backhand. And you can do some exercises like once you get good at backhand counter cross court, you can go down the line, right? And then you have your legs parallel to each other, you can do down the line. And then the same exercise that we show on the forehand counter, we can do one corner and one middle. You want to do it?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Same ready position, a foot away from the table, in a comfortable standing to start. And I'm going to do one corner and one in the middle. I do my stroke, and then I move. And then I shuffle. I finish my stroke, and then I shuffle. Notice, I always try to take the ball quick. And if I want to go fast, I move my arm fast.
Yes.
So, there's a lot of finesse, as I mentioned before. You always have to have good feeling with your forearm and wrist, but then you're going to develop as much as you practice. So try to be consistent and have good placement at the beginning.
Yeah. You wanna do multi-ball to me? Mm-hmm. So as we explained before, multi-ball is gonna help with your technique and your coordination and also your placement. You can put different challenges to you. Maybe you can use different cups.
Some targets.
And yes, and try to hit different targets that you have. That's gonna help you with your placement.
Right. If you have a lot of balls, you have a bucket of balls. I do recommend you to do a lot of multi-balls. Even Daniele and I, we still like playing for so many years. We still do a lot of multi-balls. It's very important. So, multi-ball. Bounce the ball on the table and finish in the corner. Bounce the ball, and always the same timing. And once you feel that your technique's good, your partner can say, oh, I feel comfortable already with this timing. Can you accelerate a little bit more? And then you can go a little bit faster. And then you can go from your hand. Yes. So then you can develop from that. But it's very important to do a lot of multiples at the beginning as well. Right?
Yes. Yes, and if you don't have someone, you can also practice in front of the mirror. It's going to help you to understand the ready position and how to move. Right?
All right. Guys, thank you so much for watching. See you guys next week. We're going to be teaching how to handle some slices in table tennis, or a lot of people call underspin. That's going to be our next lesson. But thank you so much for watching today. We are very happy to be here and teach you guys some table tennis for you guys. And if you want to find more information about the Killer Spin Skill Academy, don't forget to go to killerspin.com and you're going to be finding everything there. And see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Thank you.